Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. Stand up for your country. Now, my message of the day, which we post each morning on BillO'Reilly.com, it's free, and we hope you go in and read it every day, is basically expanding on what I said last night on this broadcast, that I'm starting to personally dislike President Biden, and I feel bad about that. No other president that I've covered, and I go all the way back covering presidents until Jimmy Carter. And I've never disliked any of them personally. But Joe Biden is doing things that he shouldn't be doing, and they're hurting all of us, and that's the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So yesterday we covered Martin Luther King Day, and we said that Mr. King, Dr. King, Reverend King, was a heroic man, which is true. He deserves his federal holiday because it shows respect for 13% of the population, African Americans. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no downside there, okay? But we also said that politicians, some of them, exploit the holiday, and by doing so, exploit Dr. King. So Joe Biden gave a speech, in fact, a couple of speeches. But on Dr. King's federal holiday, he said this, go.
The unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in 50 years, and black unemployment is near record lows. Wages for black workers are up, 2 strongest years ever for small business creation, including black small businesses. Across the board, American families have a bit more breathing room. More black Americans having health insurance than ever in American history.
Okay, so we fact-checked that, and here we go. Mr. Biden says the unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in 50 years. Not true. Okay, under Donald Trump, the unemployment rate was 2 times. Okay, 2 times it hit the same rate, 3.5%. Hard to go below that, because there are people who basically can't work and they leave the workforce and they collect unemployment. Unemployment rate under Donald Trump was 3.5 in September 19 and January 2020. This is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. President Biden also says that the current unemployment rate for blacks, 5.7%, is near record lows. Well, it was 5.3% under Donald Trump. So I'm not going to quibble about 0.4%, but it's a substantial number. So Mr. Biden wasn't trying to be fair there. He was trying to say, and nobody's going to fact check him, unlike Donald Trump. Washington Post fact checked everything that Trump said. In fact, in a dishonest way, often. Nobody tracks what Joe Biden says. Isn't that interesting? Second soundbite, roll the tape.
I reduced the deficit last year, $350 billion. And this year, federal deficit is down $1 trillion plus. Hear me, that's a fact.
Well, the federal deficit did fall by $1.4 trillion last year when Biden was president. It did. So what he said is true. But he didn't tell you why. Because all the COVID entitlements stopped. It was nothing that Biden did. It was that the emergency COVID relief, and you know it, you might have gotten a check. Unemployment, small business, on and on and on and on. All of that ceased. So all the COVID money went into reducing the deficit. In fact, the deficit was reduced 104%. And it was all COVID money. Every bit of it. Spending under President Biden, non-COVID spending, is the highest it's ever been under any president. Okay, so it's a ruse. And Biden knows nobody's going to check him. Nobody's going to say, well, yeah, it's true. All right, you did reduce the deficit, but it wasn't because of your policies. You were sitting in the Oval Office, but it expired. All the COVID spending that Congress passed to save people's livelihoods and businesses expired. Did you know that? Does anybody know that? No. So when I see this kind of stuff, and believe me, Biden's not the only one who does this. They all these politicians, I don't know of any politician who doesn't take things out of context in order to boost themselves up. I mean, it's just happens. But at this level, all right, to try to convince African Americans in particular that you're better off under Biden than you were under Trump. And remember, African Americans, generally speaking, don't like Donald Trump. It's not true economically. It's not. All right. Real wages, which is the indicator in this country of prosperity for all colors, are down under Biden because of inflation. Where they were up under Trump, it's a 7-point swing to the negative under Biden because of the astronomical inflation. So when you hear statistics, okay, and I needed 24 hours to check all this because I wanted to get it right. Okay, so that's the memo. Now, Joe Biden's schedule. He meets with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands today. Actually, this is a fairly important meeting because the Netherlands is sending China, selling to the Chinese, high-tech stuff. And the West, NATO, does not want that. And Netherlands is a part of NATO. So that's not some frivolous meeting about cheese. Are the Netherlands going to stop it? I don't know. And then the Golden State Warriors, perhaps the most left-wing sports team in the country, will meet with the president at 2:45 this afternoon. It's already happened. Of course, you're watching this in the evening because they won the championship, the NBA championship last year. So that ought to be a love fest there, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that. Okay, so Thursday, the president goes to California. Another thing that he should do. I mean, the rain and snow in California is devastating that state. And he'll, do the tour, just like he did the tour in El Paso. And he'll get out of there, and then he'll fundraise. I can guarantee he'll do a fundraiser there of some kind. But California, we feel very bad for the folks. I mean, they never get a break out there. Every year it's something, either droughts or mudslides or rain. It just, one of the most beautiful places in the world, but they just get pounded. All right, now, on Friday, the government can't borrow any more money. So this is going to be big. And it's boring. I know it's boring. I'm going to try and make it interesting for you. So right now, the national debt, what the USA owes, is $31.4 trillion. Democratic Party doesn't want any spending limits at all. None. Okay, they want to borrow as much money as they possibly can borrow. Republicans want, as you saw with the House and the McCarthy hearings, they want disciplined spending. So now Congress has got to approve, on Friday it begins, a new borrowing ceiling, a higher debt ceiling, so the government can continue to borrow money to pay its debts. What are its debts? Its debts are when you buy a government bond, the government has to pay you money. Okay? And in certain expenditures, there's more going out than coming in. Now, it doesn't affect Social Security or Medicare or many, many other things, because as long as the government has tax dollars at a certain level, it can spend that level. But it can't borrow more than the tax revenue that's coming in unless Congress approves. So this is a brawl. Okay? Now, 36% of all the Biden spending is what they call discretionary. That means that can be cut. That's just opinion stuff, like the $3 million jogging trail in Georgia named for Michelle Obama. Do we really need that? I mean, come on. And I'm just picking on the former First Lady because it's so egregious, so ridiculous. And there's a million of those. Okay, they're just everywhere. It's called pork. You bring the pork back. Okay, so the Republicans are going to have to say, you want us to raise the debt ceiling? You got to cut. You got to cut, and we got to have the cuts in writing. It's going to be a brawl, a bloody brawl. And then the scare tactics come out. You're not going to get your Social Security. You're not going to get your Medicare. All of that's going to come. We are here every day on radio and television to correct the record. Okay? Look, the more money the government borrows, the deeper in debt this country goes, the less your dollars are worth. That is inflation. It's got to stop. We have to start living within our means. This country or disaster will happen. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. All right, let's go to the mail. Jorge Diandor, Chihuahua, Mexico. Bill, as usual, you were right about your comments on Mexico. However, I want to point out a couple of things. In order to have the cartels smuggle, there has to be a demand for drugs in the USA, which Mexico did not create. And drugs are not distributed in the U.S. by themselves. Someone does it. Correct on both points, Jorge? Okay? We are responsible, we, the United States of America, for buying narcotics, which causes violence and death all over the place. So the individual people who buy narcotics contribute to the death. No doubt. As far as the distribution is concerned, we have laws that you have to make cases against these cartels and organizations, crime organizations in this country. It takes time to do that. And now with the pro-criminal thing we have going on here, we're selling heroin and methamphetamine and even fentanyl isn't considered a violent crime or a terrible crime. We got a huge problem. So you are correct. Michael, drug cartels are the enemy of the U.S. and should be destroyed by force. That would mean we would have to go to semi-war with Mexico. But I agree, the Patriot Act should be enforced, cartels should be designated terrorists, and we should go and get them. That's for sure. Henry, who's the most responsible for the drug mess, the buyer or the seller? The seller, the pusher, okay? The buyer is weak. The buyer is wrong. But the pusher is greedy and exploiting the weakness and doesn't care whether the buyer lives or dies. Greg Brozek, New Haven, Connecticut. North Haven. Although Dr. King made major strides in the civil rights movement, I don't think it should warrant his birthday being a national holiday. The African American community accounts for only 13% of the population. There are other historical icons who deserve it. I disagree entirely. You are showing respect for the African American community by designating the holiday. And Janet, whether you agree that MLK Day should be a holiday or not, what he accomplished through peaceful means deserves to be recognized. And it is. I think it is. Dan, Dr. King preached overcoming hate with love and nonviolence and not judging people by the color of their skin. Sadly, much of what his leadership inspired is being eroded. No doubt about it. No doubt about that. Okay, let's go to Ricky Kreutzer, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Bill, your analysis of TV news being boring is spot on. Wife and I watch the No Spin every night. Love the talking points, interviews, mail, final thoughts. Thanks for keeping it straight. If we're boring, you let me know. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Let me know. Val Gabitas, White Mountain, Alaska. From Chihuahua, Mexico to White Mountain, Alaska. Hey, Bill, you always refer to Holly as a terror dog. Why do you call her that? When Holly was a puppy, full-bred corgi, wild, crazy dog, she attacked a wooden cabinet. Holly attacked a wooden cabinet, gnawed on it. Talk about a terror dog. I had to chase this dog all over the place, and training her, I almost sent her to Special Forces camp. Now, of course, she's an adult dog and much better, but she still has the nickname, the Terror Dog. Okay, we'd like you to go to the BillO'Reilly.com store. We have a great sale there. Stock up for gifts. You know you're going to have to give them this year. Get them at a great price. Smart life. Word of the day, no rancor, R-A-N-C-O-R, when writing to the No Spin News. And we will be back with Tom Brady in a moment. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. Many timeshare owners are upset that their yearly dues continue to increase. And the annual fees never stop, even after you quit using the property. So if you are stuck in a timeshare, you're not alone. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and hundreds of 5-star testimonials, family-owned Lone Star Transfer is the only company you can trust, guaranteeing the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Lone Star Transfer's customer service is second to none. They will make your experience a pleasant one, done legally, ethically, and quickly. They have 15 years of experience in the timeshare disposal business and are here to help you. So start the new year off right with a free, no-obligation consultation. Call 855-551-7066 or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. 855-551-7066. So the final thought is about Tom Brady. I know him a little. I met him at the Kentucky Derby. He sent me a jersey, signed jersey. I always had nice discussions with him. I felt very bad for him last night when the Dallas Cowboys waxed the Tampa Bay Bucks. Dallas better team. Tampa Bay had a rough year. Brady's 45. It wasn't Brady's fault, but the game is different now. If you're a quarterback, you got to be mobile. You got to be able to run. Brady can still throw that ball, but the Buck line couldn't protect him. His receivers didn't get open very well, and he's stuck back there in the pocket getting hammered. If you see the quarterbacks that are upcoming, they all can move, okay? It's a different game. And Tom Brady, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't think he'll be back with Tampa. He may take a shot with another team that's stronger, or he might hang it up. Best quarterback ever, okay, no doubt about it. But last night watching that game, I was sad. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We will see you tomorrow. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. I want to tell you about GhostBed. GhostBed has been designing high-quality sleep products for more than 2 decades with more than 50,000 positive customer reviews. Wow. GhostBed has luxury mattresses and premium sheets that get softer with every wash. Their mattresses have a cooling feature. Each is made with their signature Ghost Ice fabric, perfect for hot sleepers. Get fast and free shipping, plus a 101-night sleep trial with free returns. Trying their mattress is truly risk-free. So please go online, take their quiz to find out the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. Get 30% off GhostBed mattresses plus 2 free luxury pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their award-winning adjustable base. Use promo code BILL at ghostbed.com/bill to take advantage of this fabulous offer. That's ghostbed.com/bill, promo code BILL.